Good morning and welcome back. I hope you all are doing well. So, today we are going to do chapter 4 from the diary of Anne Frank. This is the fourth chapter from your book, First Flight. So, let me tell you, this is only one extract from the book, The Diary of a Young Girl. This is the complete book, and this chapter is only few pages from this book. So, before starting, let me tell you, there are so many stories of striving to survive, and one such story is about Anne Frank. She had recorded her thoughts in a diary which we know as the Diary of a Young Girl. This diary tells us about Anne Frank and her family. They were hit by Nazis and hid themselves for 2 years in a secret annex before they were betrayed and captured. Anne died in a concentration camp shortly after her 15th birthday, but her diary survived to tell her story. But before we read this chapter, let us know who Anne Frank was. Anne Frank was born as Anneliese Marie on 12 June 1929. She wrote the diary while hiding with her family and 4 friends in Amsterdam during the German occupation of Netherlands in World War II. After 2 years in hiding, they were betrayed and transported to the concentration camp system, where Anne died of typhus. Her father's name was Otto. Being the only survivor of the family, he returned to Amsterdam after the war ended to find that her diary, means his daughter's diary, Anne Frank's diary, was saved. So convinced that it was a unique record, he took action to have it published in English under the name The Diary of a Young Girl. So let's start reading the extract. So let's start with the chapter 4 from the diary of Anne Frank. As I have already told you that this is only an extract from her book, that is The Diary of a Young Girl. So let's start the chapter. First page goes as, please open up page number 50. As you can see, writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me. Anne Frank is trying to say that writing in a diary was a strange experience for her. Not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old schoolgirl. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I feel like writing, and I have an even greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. So, in the beginning lines, Anne Frank tells about the early years of her life. She also describes why she decided to keep a diary. This chapter contains the first few pages of her diary. So, let's read about. So she is saying it's not only that she is writing, she has never writing anything before, but also because it seems to her that later on neither she would be interested nor anyone else would be interested just to know about the thinking of a 13-year-old girl. Musing means thinking. So it doesn't matter to her. So she feel like writing. So she was even having the greater need to. So that's why she wants to share everything which was in her mind, because she was a teenager. So she wants to have a friend who could share everything, and that friend could be her diary. Paper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hands. This is very important line. Paper has more patience than people. This has a very deep meaning. So she says that writing a diary is another purpose, because paper can listen to your things or you can note down anything on paper and nobody is going to question you back. Okay, so that's why, inspired by this thought, she decided to keep a diary. So she was depressed and she was sitting at home, and she was like it is written here, at home with my chin in my hands. She was bored and listless, means she was having no clue, no activity, wondering whether to stay in or go out. So she finally decided to stay in. So I finally stayed where I was brooding. Brooding means thinking. So she decided to stay and she was thinking, yes, paper does have more patience. Moreover, she is saying that exactly as she thought, that paper does have more patience, because she started writing and she was happy to share something with the diary, and it is top secret. Since I am not planning to let anyone else read this stiff backed notebook. Stiff backed notebook means totally true and correct record. Okay, she doesn't want anyone to just peep into that diary. So she's saying, I'm not bothering anything because nobody is going to read out my diary. Okay, so this notebook gradually, which is referred as diary, unless I should ever find a real friend, it probably won't make a bit of difference. So this would perhaps wouldn't make any difference until or unless she would find a good friend. She wants to say that until or unless I would find a good friend, till then I would keep this diary and I would share this with only my good friend. Now I am back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. Now she is telling us what is the reason why she wants to keep a diary. Okay, I don't have a friend. So this is very sad that she here accepts that she was not having any friend. Let me put it more clearly. Since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world, and I am not. She is now explaining her personal life with us. She is saying, let me very clear. Okay, nobody is going to believe that a 13-year-old girl is not having any friend in this world. And I am not. I am having loving parents and a 16-year-old sister, and there are about 13 people I can call friends. Moreover, she is sharing that she has loving parents, an older sister who is 16, okay, and there are so many friends, around 30 people she call friends. I have a family, loving aunts, and a good home. No, on the surface, I seem to have everything except my one true friend. So on the surface means it is seemingly, on the surface means seemingly, it's obvious that she was having a good family and good parents and loving aunt and uncle. So means she was having everything, but she was not having one true friend. All I think about when I am with friends is having a good time. So whenever I think about my friends, I really want to enjoy their company. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary everyday things. So I'm not talking about that you are sharing with your personal experiences or maybe your day-to-day routine with your friend. This is not friendship. Okay, this is a casual talk. You can talk to anybody. But the deep, your secrets, your innermost thought, that if you are able to share with someone, that is called a true friend. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. Now she is confessing one thing, that I don't find anybody so reliable that I can share my all things, all secrets, all my thoughts with that person. That's why this is the problem. Maybe this is her behavior problem she is accepting. Maybe it's my fault. See, here she is saying, maybe it's my fault that we don't confide in each other, that I can't tell with confidence or confidentially somebody is keeping my secrets to them. That's why I don't find anybody trustworthy to share all these things. So in this case, okay, in any case, that's just how things are, and unfortunately they are not liable to change. Okay, they are not likely to change. This is why I have started the diary. That is the reason why she started writing a diary, because she was not having a true friend who could share the things, share her thoughts, and moreover can keep her secrets forever. To enhance the image of this long awaited friend, to increase this craving for a true friendship, okay, and that is only in imagination. So I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary. She doesn't want to just write down in a hurry. Jot down means write down in a hurry all the facts about daily routine, as you might have seen how to write a diary. So she is not willing to note down only the basic things which day to day routine or something. She don't want to write there. Okay, she wants to write her opinion in that. Okay, the way most people would do, as most people just note down the things, their plan, and their meetings and whatever. She don't want to write down these kind of things. But I want the diary to be my friend. She wants to treat her diary as friend, and I am going to call this friend Kitty. So she named her diary Kitty. That is the name of the diary of Anne Frank. So now I think this page is clear. Come to this page, that is page number 51. Above that there are some questions. First question is, what makes writing in a diary a strange experience for Anne Frank? Second is, why does Anne want to keep a diary? Third is, why did Anne think she could confide more in her diary than in people? So it's very easy to find out the answers. Now come to the text. Okay, let us do the text, then we will discuss about the question answers. Since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty, if I were to plunge right in. So she is saying, I know nobody is going to understand what I am telling to my Kitty. Kitty means her diary. Okay, and that's why to start in, or this is a sudden start. Plunge means to start suddenly, okay, or to jump in any situation. I would better provide a brief sketch of myself. So before writing anything in the diary, she is telling about her life. Now she is describing herself and her life, much as I dislike doing so. So she is saying she doesn't want to share these things, but now before starting there is one intro section with Kitty. So she is writing everything about her, means she is sharing all these things with Kitty. She starts with, my father, the most adorable father I have ever seen. She is having a loving father. Okay, adorable means loving father she could ever have. Didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. So their father and mother got married when father was 36 and mother was 25. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. So her elder sister was born in 1926 in Germany. I was born on 12 June 1929 and she was born on 12 June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4, and until she was 4 years old, she was living in Frankfurt. My father immigrated. Then her father migrated. Immigrated means migrated to Holland in 1933. My mother, Edith Frank, that is full name Edith Hollander Frank. Edith Hollander Frank went with him to Holland in September. So her mother shifted after that, while Margot and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. So when parents were planning the things. Meanwhile, they were staying with the grandmother in Etchun. Margot went to Holland in December and I followed in February. So Margot was shifted to Holland with parents in December, and after that in February Anne also shifted. When I was plunked down. Now she is being sarcastic. Now how she is just describing how she was taken to their parents. Okay, when I was plunked down. Okay, so she here addresses herself that I was literally threw down on the table as a birthday present for Margaret. So it was the birthday of her sister when she went there to visit her parents and started living with them. I started right away at the Montessori. So obviously when she was living there she was already 4 or 5, so she started going to the nursery school, Montessori nursery school. I stayed there until I was 6, so she was there when she was 6 years old. Okay, at which time I started in the first form. Okay, then she started the first standard. In the 6th, from my teacher was Mrs. Kuperis, the headmistress. There one lady, Mrs. Kuperis, was there. She was the headmistress. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said a heartbreaking farewell. She was so attached to the Montessori headmistress that when she bade her farewell, the last day of that Montessori, she was in tears. So everybody is so attached with their preschools, okay? So whenever you are leaving that school, you are having so much beautiful memories. Same she was having, and she was so attached with Mrs. Kuperis that both were in tears. Now come to the next para. In the summer of 1941, grandma fell ill. Now she is telling about a sad moment, the demise of her grandmother. So in 1941, her grandmother fell ill and had to have an operation, and she underwent some operation. So my birthday passed with little celebration. So in this crisis, they couldn't celebrate the birthday of Anne Frank. Grandma died in January 1942, and soon after the grandmother died in 1942. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. She is again sharing with the kitty very personal information regarding how much she was missing her grandmother. Okay, and she still was in love with her. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for the other. Intended to make up for the other means it was like a compensation. Okay, they could not celebrate in 1941, so this birthday was a little grand from the 1941, and this was like one compensation. And grandmother's candle was lit along with the rest, and grandmother's candle was lit along with the others. The 4 of us are still doing well. So the 4 means Mama, Papa, elder sister and Anne, the 4 of them. And that brings me to the present date of 20 June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. Okay, so now she is saying this is my formal opening to my diary. So this is the 20th June 1942 when she formally opened her diary. Now she is sharing. Okay, as we would move to the next page. As it is stated, Saturday 20 June 1942, as you can see at the topmost. Then comes Dear Kitty. She is addressing to her diary. Our entire class is quacking in its boots. Okay, our complete class, entire means the complete class is quaking in its boots, means trembling because of fear. What is the fear now? The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teacher decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back, because result is shortly coming out and that would be a deciding day who would go in the next class and who would remain in the same class. Half the class is making bets, and because of this we are just betting on each other. Okay, Jian and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us. Two boys are sitting behind them, and they were just betting and discussing about the result. See Anne and Jakes, who have staked their entire holiday. It is called Jakes as well, and it is in French called yek. Okay, yek. Fine. Otherwise, you can call it Jakes as well. Who has staked their entire holiday saving on their bet. So entire holiday they were saving their pocket money just to save for this bet. From morning to night, it's you are going to pass, no I am not. They are just continuously only discussing or betting on each other whether they would pass or fail or pass or fail. Okay, yes you are, no I am not. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outburst can't calm them down. They are disturbing us so much. Only this they are talking. You are going to pass, no I am not, yes you are. And I am very frustrated because of this. Although I outburst angrily, yet they were not shutting them themselves. If you ask me, there are so many dummies, means dull. Okay, that is means they are not intelligent. She thinks that in her class there are no more intelligent students. Okay, that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. So according to her, fine, the quarter of the class must be in same because they are all dull. Fine. But teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. This is a direct satire, yet I am reading it. Okay, she is saying, but we can't make any guess about teachers and their behaviors. So let's see what would happen, whether they would pass anyone, okay, or whether they can fail anyone. This is unpredictable. I'm not so worried about my girlfriends, means the friends who are girls, okay, because she is in co-ed, so there are boys also in the class. That's why she is particularly saying girlfriends, means she thinks that the girls are more intelligent than the boys in the class. And myself, we will make it somehow, we will pass from it. Okay, we will just be shifted to the next class. The only subject I am not sure about is maths. Obviously this is fear not only for the present generation but for Anne also. As you can see, she said that this only subject I am not sure about is maths. She was also afraid of maths. Okay, anyway, all we can do is wait, but they can't do anything because exams are done. They can only wait for the result. Until then, we keep telling each other not to lose heart. We are just consoling each other that we should just attain the hope and should be positive. I get along pretty well with all my teachers. Now she is telling to her diary that she is having very friendly relation with all the teachers. Friendly in the sense she is very good with all the teachers. Fine. So here Anne writes about her teachers, classmates. Okay, earlier she has wrote about the parents and elder sister. Now she is telling about the school. So she is saying that I am very good with my all teachers. There are 9 of them, 7 men and 2 women. Mr. Kissing, the old fogey who teaches maths. So here Mr. Kissing, he is one old-fashioned. Okay, old-fashioned teacher of maths was annoyed. He was always angry with her for ages because I talked so much. And she's saying, I don't know how long he hated me or I have annoyed him, but every time when I am in his period, he's always angry with me. Okay, because of the habit of talking in the class. Obviously, no teacher likes a student who is talking too much in the class. So, same was the nature of Anne. After several warnings, he assigned me extra homework. He has given me several warnings. Keep quiet, but I am not listening. Okay, so at last he assigned me some extra homework as a punishment. An essay on the subject, a chatterbox. Please note down, Mr. Kissing is maths teacher but is giving an essay to write. That is only for a punishment. Okay, so she was asked to write an essay on the subject, a chatterbox. Okay, chatterbox means very talkative. A chatterbox. What can you write about that? Now she is asking to herself, what I should write in this topic. I would worry about that later, I decided. So I decided, okay, I'll think about it when the time would come. I jotted down the title in my notebook. So I noted down the title and then tucked it in my bag and tried to keep quiet. And after that, I really composed myself not to talk anymore. That evening, means the same evening, when Mr. Kissing has given the essay to write, when she came home, finished her homework, then that evening, after I had finished the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. And all of a sudden, I just came to the point that, oh, I need to write an essay also. I began thinking about the subject while chewing the tip of my fountain pen. So she was putting her hard concentration on that topic. Okay, that's why she was chewing the pen. Anyone could ramble on and leave big spaces between the words. Okay, anyone can just talk or write aimlessly for any topic by leaving so many spaces in between the words. But the trick was to come up with the convincing argument. Now see how she maturely explaining about this, that I want to convince, I want to put a reasonable argument to prove the necessity of talking, that this is very compulsory to talk in classes. Okay, she wants to give a reason for that. I thought and suddenly I had an idea. And then she came up with an idea. I wrote the 3 pages. Okay, so she started writing, and to prove herself, she wrote 3 pages. Mr. Kissing had assigned me and was satisfied. And after writing 3 pages, I was totally satisfied with my essay. So, I argued that talking is a student's trait. Okay, trait means here distinguishing features, like it is must. Okay, and that I would do my best to keep it under control. And she also wrote that she would do everything to control this feature, but that I would never be able to cure myself of the habit, since my mother talked as much as I did, if not more. But she can't control herself because she is having this trait from her mother. Her mother is very talkative, and that's why she is also very talkative. So here she is giving this reason that I can't cure myself because I am having this habit from my mother, and that there is not much you can do about inherited traits and the qualities which you have got from your families. You can't just do anything related to that. So when Mr. Kissing had a good laugh at her arguments, so he has taken that essay as very entertaining, funny. Okay, but when I proceeded to talk my way through the next lesson, but when he was taking the next period and I tried to talk in his class, he assigned me a second essay, and again he was annoyed and assigned me another extra work. This time it was supposed to be on an incorrigible chatterbox. This time topic is more emphasizing on incorrigible means beyond any kind of correction. Okay, so something that cannot be corrected, beyond correction. Incorrigible chatterbox. I handed it in, and Mr. Kissing had nothing to complain about for 2 whole lessons. However, during the third lesson, he would finally had enough. So, I have taken the idea. I have taken the clue. Okay, for some time I composed myself, but obviously I am a student in third period, so he could not control himself and was annoyed completely. It was enough for him. So he addressed me, and Frank, as punishment for talking in class, write an essay entitled Quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. So it was clear indication that Mr. Kissing was so irritated that he has given clear indication that Anne was sounding quack, 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 means continuous disturbance. So the class roared. So the class obviously started shouting. I had to laugh as they were laughing. Okay, they were making fun of her. So she also joined the laugh. Though I had never exhausted my ingenuity on the topic of chatterboxes. So now this line means although she was done with this topic, now she has used all or finished all her skill on this topic, because already she has written this topic twice. So she said that I have used up all the skills. Okay, she has used all the skills to make this topic on chatterbox. It was time to come up with something else. Now I was thinking that writing an essay is not only the solution. I have to just come up with some original ideas. My friend Sane, who is good at poetry, offered to help me write the essay from beginning to end in verse. So her friend offered that she would help her to write the essay in a poetic form, and I jumped for joy, and I was so happy that this is a great idea. Mr. Kissing was trying to play a joke on me with this ridiculous subject, but I would make sure the joke was on him, as Mr. Kissing is making fun of her. So she was resoluted that I have to end this one, and I really want to turn the table. Means I really want to make it that this teacher had intended to play a joke on Anne, but she rather want to make it a joke on him. I finished my poem and it was beautiful. So I have done with the topic in a poetic form, and according to me, it was wonderful. Why it was wonderful? It was about a mother duck and a father swan with 3 baby ducklings who were bitten to death by the father because they quacked too much. Because this verse was about a family where father was swan. Note down, father swan and mother duck. Okay, both are different. Fine. So they were having ducklings. Okay, but the father was not happy with the kids. Why? Because of their quack quack. They quacked too much. They couldn't sound same as father. So it told the story of a mother duck and a father swan. The father beat his 3 ducklings to death because they quacked too much. Clearly the father swan was Mr. Kissing, and the ducklings were the poor children in her class. Okay, so how it is coming out, how Mr. Kissing has taken this. Now luckily Mr. Kissing took the joke the right way. He was not offended. Fine. Rather he has taken the joke in a right way. Luckily, he has taken the joke as it is written on page number 53. He has taken the joke in a light way. He read the poem to the class, adding his own comments and to several other classes as well. Not only he just explained this poem or just enjoyed this poem in her class, but also he explained this to other classes as well. Okay, adding his own comments. Mr. Casing was adding his own comments over this topic and to several other classes as well. Since then, I have been allowed to talk and have not been assigned any extra homework. And after that, Mr. Casing was not analyzing Anne for talking too much in the class, and she was not even given any extra homework. On the contrary, rather, what was the result? Mr. Casing always making joke these days. He himself started joking with the kids. So this is the extracted pages from the diary of a young girl. Okay, so here are the question answers. I hope this chapter is very well understood by you. We would do the question answers and discuss the question answers later.